Hey, what's up? So I wanted to share my thoughts on Destiny 2, The Final Shape, which I thought was incredible. Incredible. Like, repeatedly throughout my entire playthrough of the campaign, I kept thinking, this is incredible. Like, as I was moving through the levels and, just playing at the story and everything, and I was just like, man. And I kept finding myself, like, saying, this is incredible, this is incredible, this is incredible, while I was playing through it. I'm like, man. Like damn, this is good, it's not the first game I've ever done that with dirty things. Sorry for the noise, I'm trying to move my mic. It's not the first game I've done it with or anything, but I didn't think this was going to have that effect on me, because I have really enjoyed Destiny 2. I enjoyed part 1. I've enjoyed this game, for a long time. I've never really super been hardcore into it, like as much as other players. Like, I have played a lot. I have a few hundred hours played on it. I don't know the total, because I played probably at least double on PS4 in comparison to PC, because I was on PS4 for a while. But yeah, there was like a 3-month period where I played like really hardcore every day, all day for a few months. But that was the most I had ever really played the game like that much. Like any other time I played like very casually, like just here and there, I'd throw it on. And for me, casual can be anywhere from 10 to 100 hours, kind of. In comparison to what I'm used to, what I think of as myself, as a hardcore gamer, the games that I have played truly hardcore would be something like Diablo 2 or World of Warcraft. Even Diablo 3 I have more time played than this game. So when I think hardcore, I think like 1,000+ hours and stuff. But it doesn't mean you're not. That's just my perspective, because I've done that in multiple games. So for me, the difference could be different for different people. Some people might play a game for an hour and think that was casual, and then play a game for 10 hours and think that was hardcore. Like 10 hours. Anyways, no. So I have really enjoyed this game. I've enjoyed every expansion. Give me a sec, dang it. Sorry. I've enjoyed every expansion. I've liked them. I've had a lot of fun with them. But this is my favorite by far. And one thing that I really like, the Witness, the bad guy of the story. He came in Lightfall. I think it's called Lightfall, the previous expansion. The Witness was introduced, and it's one of my most favorite characters, just in general, like movies, TV, comics, whatever. Like, I love the Witness. It's just so cool. It's such a cool character. So I kept thinking and hoping maybe they'll end up making it the good guy. So I was like, this is too beautiful of a creature to be the bad guy, right? But man, I kind of want to save a couple of spoilers for last, but it just becomes obvious that he is the bad guy. I kept hoping for like a plot twist, like, oh no, the Witness was doing this to, for good or whatever. And of course, part of some villains, they're like Thanos, for example. I gotta save the planet, I gotta save the world by destroying half the population. So funny. That kind of a thing, like they think they're being a good guy, but they're not. Anyways, no, so I really, really, this is my favorite by far. Like, I was impressed constantly throughout the whole thing. And in all of my Destiny playthrough, like, I've really enjoyed it. I have. The story has been really cool. I'm not deep into the lore. I don't have it memorized or anything, but I did enjoy it as I was playing through the campaigns. But man, The Witness is my favorite. The story of The Witness, everything behind it, and the Final Shape, the environments. Now, the thing about Destiny 2, the environments have always been amazing. They've always been just stunning, just gorgeous. Everywhere I go in the universe, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's what would make me so mad about, like, replaying the same planets, replaying the same missions, because I'm like, this universe is too incredible to just stick me in the same mission over and over again. Stop, dude, like, let me go play everywhere. Like, what the heck is this crap, For example, like when you're playing an expansion, you're mostly stuck to the content in that expansion if you're trying to progress and whatever. There have been parts of the stories throughout the entire series where you would go to previous planets. There have been times like that. They're in this one too. But the majority that you play is in the new content, which also makes sense. But I just think with the way that the game is designed, as far as like the replay value, the main focus of the replay value is in the new content, right? So that's just been a thing that I've thought the entire time I'm playing this game. It was just reminding me. I just started today getting into a little bit of the end game grind, the extra stuff. I've beaten the full campaign. There is more, and they're like echoes, they're little additional story stuff, but the main big bad campaign stuff I'm done with right now. So I'm doing a little bit of the extra stuff, and yeah. Anyways, no, the world is amazing. The universe, the planets that you play, the environments are just gorgeous. The music has always been super. Everything in this game is pretty superb. The visuals, everything, man. My main complaint, besides the one I just mentioned, like, I want to be able to travel to each of these different planets for different reasons, you know, different missions, different ongoing stuff, and have it feel like it's current content, you know. But anyways, my other main complaint is that just the lack in variety of enemy types. It's, you know, been playing this game for what, like at least 10 years. I don't remember when Destiny 1 came out, but it's the same enemies as part 1 too, and I'm just like, what? Like, what the? Come on, man! Give us varied enemies, man. What the hell? We're fighting the same 3 enemies? Like, this whole stupid. So the game is a lot of fun, but you know, when you're fighting the same enemies over and over, it's just like, but the final shape did add some new enemy types. I like the gargoyles. They're very cool looking. And of course, the bosses are wow, especially the witness. Wow, dude, wow. So there's at least 2 fights, different boss fights with the witness. There's one for the main campaign that you can solo, and then there's the finale version, which apparently they made puggable, which Pug is just doing with random players. And normally they don't have raids puggable, right? Like they did start a beta, I think, in the last expansion where you can actually do matchmaking for raids. But it wasn't a normal thing. So I found it interesting that by default doing this, like, I don't even, my assumption is it's not the main raid, right? But I don't know for sure because I haven't done the raid and I probably never will. And I haven't looked it up either. But there was a part you could do matchmaking and do like a full-blown, like, I think there were 12 players. Yeah, so that's a raid size thing. Maybe it is the raid. Maybe it's like a lower difficulty version or something. I'm not sure. But I was really glad to be able to do that because it was amazing. And I almost didn't know what was going on. Of course, I was, you know, shooting enemies and whatever. But there was just so much crap going on, and it seemed to me like everybody already knew what to do because it just kind of went. Like I didn't even have a chance to figure anything out. I got to shoot enemies. I fought the boss. You know, could tell what to do in the boss and stuff, but like how to activate different things, and I don't know if it was just fighting off waves or if there were things you had to do, because throughout this game and different mission types there are like little puzzles that you have to solve, and this happens during boss fights and stuff like that. It's pretty neat, it's pretty cool, and they're not overly difficult or anything, but you know, it's something that you do have to pay attention to and participate in. Anyways, yeah, so that was cool. I was really glad to be able to do that major raid boss fight, because I was like, whoa. And I've always wanted to raid in this game. I just haven't played enough to go out of my way to go look for a clan and stuff that's active. I mean, I've thought about it a bunch. But I just haven't. I'm too casual. Like, I don't want to play this every day, all day. It depends. Sometimes I do, but I might play this every day, all day long for like a week and then not play it for a year. Like, that can happen. So that's why I have not gone out of my way. Although I probably would end up playing more if I was with a clan doing raids and stuff. Probably. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways. And I had forgot, like, before I started this video, I thought I had more notes on this, but I didn't. I had like a few notes just to remind myself of a couple things that I've already talked about, already brought up. But yeah, nothing really technical or anything, because I was just speaking on it generally. I've already spoke on the game being free to play, the pay model and all that's kind of wacky. Not a fan, but and I said this before, like, you know, if you want to play the game, you're gonna pay for it. Yeah. But also, I have subscribed to World of Warcraft for many years in the past, so you know, I have put that kind of money into these games and stuff. I mean, I want to check my notes real quick before I finish this. I did save some cool quotes I thought were neat. All hope is false. All hope is false if we let it die. I thought that was an interesting one. I thought I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool. And then Zavala said, "I gave it everything I had, and it keeps taking." That was like in that moment too. I was like, "Oh man, he's going, man. He's losing it." But it was cool though. Like it was cool. Chaos disguises freedom. The witness. That was part of a monologue type thing. He was talking, and in that line though, he said, "Chaos disguises freedom." I was like, "Oh man, that's good." And then the witness also said, "You are no longer a pawn of the light. Be free." I forget. There's a lot of stuff. So the witness is trying to convince you to be a bad guy, basically, right? Like, put simply. But there's a lot of stuff the witness says is something anybody would agree with. You know, it's kind of like anything. Like the villains, you're gonna agree with them on something. You know, right? But no, it was interesting. The story was really good. The new activities are cool. They're kind of similar to previous activities, previous public events, previous new activities been added in the game over the years, and they're of course like enhanced versions of them. So that's cool. I do dig that. I do dig the new content, the new little missions and stuff. Yeah. And as a side note, I thought this was funny because it was something I was thinking about. I was like, I wonder, depending on your mood, like especially because for me. One of the first things I didn't notice it right away when I had returned to the game after a while, and I was doing the missions and I was doing the campaign, and the NPCs, like, you go up to them to pick up your bounties or whatever, and they would talk forever. They wouldn't shut up, like the NPC. And you're not even looking at a cinematic or not. You're looking at like a menu screen, basically, right? You're looking at your little bounty type of screen, or you're just looking at the character in the world itself, in the environment. You're literally you're in the game. They're in front of you, these characters in front of you, and they just talk forever. And it took me a while to realize that's how they do the story in this game. It's less cinematics and more like in-game speaking and stuff, and it's very weird because you can literally walk away. I'm pretty sure if you walk far enough, it'll play like in your headset or whatever. Like the sound will change. You won't be local sound, but you'll hear it in your headset. I think I've run off before while listening to the story, and I've run off to go shoot stuff, and then I was like, how come my next mission, I don't know what to do on my next mission? And then they finally shut up, and then my mission would update, and I'm like, oh, because they were talking about it. So that's just a funny thing about it, is there's a lot of story that is not going to be cinematic. It's actually just in the game, and the one that I kind of think it's cool, the in-game one where you literally just stand there and you're watching NPCs talk as if you were watching the cinematic with two NPCs just talk to each other, which is annoying. But the one that bugs me is the one where you're in the little menu type screen after you talk to one of the NPC type characters, and you bring up their little menu window, and they will tell you the story right there. You can also read along. There's like a summary written out, right? But it doesn't have everything. It's a summary compared to what they said. If you listen, you'll get more details out of it. But I just think it's funny because one thing I hate in just regular games is watching a 20-minute cinematic of two characters just back and forth chatting to each other. I'm just like, shut up, man, just shut up. Let me play. So I just thought that was funny. That's something I wanted to throw out there as a reminder. If you're new to the game or forget or returning to the game and stuff like that, remember that the story is going to be in front of you, like in the game itself, and it's not. Most of it's not going to be cinematic. Which is interesting. They do have plenty of cinematics. The cinematics are pretty cool. I dig them. I also like the art style stuff when they do that little scribbly art stuff. It's pretty neat. I'm going to share a couple spoilers right now, and then I might have final thoughts. But so I'm warning you now. I'm going to start a couple spoilers, and then I'll add a timestamp in the description of the video, letting you know where the end of the spoilers happen. and you can click on that if the video goes much longer. I don't know or expect it to or anything. So here we go, couple spoilers. All right. To me anyways. Oh yeah, actually I guess just one spoiler, but I had mentioned already that the witness, I was hoping wouldn't end up being the bad guy, and I was hoping there'd be some kind of plot twist that would make them the good guy. It didn't happen, and towards the end it's so obvious he's the, like, it's kind of like the way he looks and his voice and everything is an illusion. It's fake. It's he's really like a demonic, super evil, whoa, man, like when you hear the real voice of the witness, and it doesn't happen often, man. Like you just get this really deep, demonic, dark voice and stuff, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that does not match the visual, like, at all of this character. Anyways, I don't really fully consider that a spoiler or anything, but I wanted to mention it just in case, you know. The real spoiler that that might be spoilery to anybody that cares. I didn't care, but I know it can be considered a spoiler, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Was bringing Cade back to life. It brought Cade back to life. And I liked Cade. I was never attached to him. I had seen discussions in the community of people really love this character and they just flip out over him. I think really they just like the actor, I guess. I don't know. I'm a big fan of I've liked a lot of the stuff that dude's in, right? Like his shows and movies or whatever. Yeah, it seems like a cool dude and all that, but I'm not like, I don't know. It didn't make me like the character. Actually, I kind of hated Cade for a long time. I don't like his persona. It's just not my kind of thing. I don't like that persona. Whenever there's a character like him, I'm like, eh. But he is cool. He is a badass. Yeah, so they brought him back to life, and then they only to kill him. And the same, I was just like, you didn't even give him time to like be a part of the story after bringing him to life, and then you just kill him again. Like, what? For me, it ruined the impact of bringing him back in the first place. I was like, what? But that's just me. Other people that have played through this story might feel much differently. They might have liked it more. I did, like, the moment was good and emotional, but it lost impact just from the fact that they brought him back to die again. Like, it was just like, whatever. All right, anyway, so that's all. I just wanted to share that as far as spoilery type of thing. Yeah, I think I had more thoughts. I've randomly thought of things after playing the game, but I think that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed the final shape. It's freaking awesome, man. And I wouldn't go tell you to go run and go buy it at full price or anything. Wait for a sale if you want. I will say this. They do the seasonal content and kind of ongoing event live content. So if you don't play it while it's live and you come back later after their sales and stuff, you're probably gonna miss content if it's already expired. Because not for me, I wait until a game is cheap on sale. I don't wait for like the 10% discount. 10% is just it's insulting. But anyways, yeah, you might miss out on certain missions that were only there for the season, kind of a thing, which it can be annoying. But yeah, like I said, I've said this before. Like, if you're into the game and you're really playing it a lot, it is worth paying for that content, because it's really cool content. Like, it is really cool content. Anyways, I'll link to my other video talking about that, because I still feel like a lot of thoughts are kind of similar. It's just annoying, but it's kind of normal. The way everything is now is just wacky, but game is cool, man. I give this expansion a 10/10, man. That's just, for me, that's like I was so impressed. Really good campaign, good, amazing environments, amazing gameplay. Like, pretty cool, and my most favorite expansion by far. Like I said, I've enjoyed them all, but this is mine. This one reached me. I don't know, this one's my favorite. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.